What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar vs. C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Verasity today. This one comes to us at the request of a couple people. Weldzano Fabs, I think Weldzano Fabs requested it, and the Faithful Citizen also requested it. So this one's for you guys. I meant to make a video on this earlier today, but I just didn't have time, man. But enough excuses. Looking at this now, we are kind of in this area of accumulation, it looks like, right? Like this kind of grand old area that we've been in for a little bit, like over a year and a half now, something like that. If and when it breaks to the upside, you're probably going to see a dramatic move, right? Maybe not something that takes you up to your all-time highs. Maybe it does. But probably, you know, just like this last time where you had this like realm of accumulation, when you broke out, you had fantastic movement. I would assume you'd see something just like that. And you know, it didn't go there immediately. It looks like it did, but it didn't, right? From the time that you like broke out of this, which would have been this week here, to the time that you topped off, that was 63 days, right? That was 2 months. So and you didn't even finish. You continued to climb higher afterwards. Had a little correction and then some, right? So if and when you break out of this is the question, right? And that's kind of what I want to go over today. Are you getting ready to break out of this? How long are you going to be in it for? You know, let's kind of compare it to this last range. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell, this is all the data that I have for this coin. Let me just see. Yeah. That's like the most historical data I can find on TradingView. I went through a bunch of different charts, not just those two. But anyways, from what we have from the beginning to the time of breakout, that was about 413 bars, okay? And here, I would say we've been in this zone probably, we can say here. We can say we've been in this zone since about here, all right? And that's been about 532 bars, right? And however you want to skin it. If you want to bring it down to where this low was, whatever, you're still, I would say you've met the requirements of accumulation that you probably are going to break out sooner or later, okay? And now what this means, if you have a similar reaction to the last time, right? If you see a move like this, that will probably just be the beginning of where you're ultimately going to go by the end of this bull cycle. Yes, it's very common after accumulating to see a nice massive breakout in either direction. We're expecting to the upside for this one, right? But then it's also normal to have a correction. Now, I would think that with this next move, whenever you break out, it probably will take you to your all-time highs, probably past it, actually. And then you have a correction back. Maybe you find support on your all-time highs. Maybe you go back a little bit below it, but you find support in that area. And then you continue to go higher. I don't think you're going to see a move like this where you crawl higher, but more of just like an overall continuation of what is coming. You know, it might not be this dramatic. It might take, instead of, you know, this kind of angle, it might take longer, right? You might have an initial move or something up that just like blows up dramatically at first, but you know, like even all these weeks here, that was a, well, I mean, they don't look too big on this chart, but man, that's a that right there is a 93% week, and then this one here is a 212% week. So pretty big weeks actually, back to back. So it's kind of nice to see. A lot more volume over here. Definitely a lot more volume. Showing strong readings on your RSI. Trying to compare it and see. I mean, you even kind of are acting similar, aren't you, as to the time right before you broke out? Because look at that, right? You found resistance here. Okay, let's start from like the beginning of it, right, where things started to turn bullish or whatever. You had your low in the RSI, which is actually right around the 40, right down here, just like you did this time. Okay, coming out of the overbought zone, coming down, you found your support right here, right in this very similar area. You came up to about this area right here, right? If you look at the dashed line, you go all the way to the right, it's this same area that you found resistance. Then you came down and you found support. This one, it's a little bit up higher, but whatever, relatively the same. It looks the same, you know, does it not? This just looks a little bit stronger, I would say, than this. You might be getting ready to go into your overbought zone right now, and with that, you very well could be looking to break out of this range, man. Like soon. Like by the end of this year, man. By the end of the year, Verasity, Vera, I don't know what it's called. It could be looking to break out of this range by the end of this year. And will it be at new all-time highs by the end of this year? Probably not. I mean, it did work in a very quick amount of time here, right? 2 months, and we have about 2 months left in the year, so it is possible. But I would think, you're sitting at about 62% of 1 cent right now. I would think that you would at least be somewhere above 3 cents by the end of the year. I think that's coming soon, man. This thing is gearing up and ready for some upside. And maybe it doesn't happen that fast. Maybe you go there overall. I'm better at predicting ultimate ends, right? I'm better at predicting a price target. I'm not as good at predicting when it happens, if that makes sense. That's the hardest part. Anybody can predict the price, but gauging when it will happen, that really is the hardest part. But I think it's been enough time. I think you're getting well enough looking readings to kind of signal that could happen. Now, looking at this thing here on the daily, very strong looking RSI. Yeah, you bounced off your 40, your bearish area of control. You came up into your bullish area of control, and you bounced off of that as well, but to a bullish effect, right? Now you're overbought. Volume kind of looks like it's dying off, but at the same time, it's coming. It is building as you're moving up. I don't know. It'd be nice to see some more volume, but you haven't broken out of this little range yet, so it's not really too detrimental. And you can break out without volume. It's just not a conventional thing, but let's see. From bottom to top, yeah, found support right in your sweet spot, man. You are above your 382 now. That is big shit. That is big shit. We got 5 days, 21 hours left in this week. A lot can happen. It can change for sure. But if you can close above this 382, man, what I would start to think from top to bottom, men and women, I think you're on your way at least to 1.5 cents, 2.3 cents. And, I was even saying 3 cents or above, right? I think you're on your way, man. I really do think you're on your way. Let's just see here. Bottom or top to bottom there. I mean, you just blew through your realm of expectations. You took a little break here, just a little one, but you blew through it, man. You immediately went into your deeper extensions. You found support on your 1886, which is already in itself a deep extension. So, for similar references here, from top to bottom of this move, this isn't of your overall range. I guess can't really do that. I don't like to go backwards. Some people draw their fibs like this, and I just think that's phooey. But maybe from this overall range, I mean, from that same kind of look, 5 cents. Literally, like you're just gonna tear through all your bear market stuff, man. But if you're to do this the same way that I would normally draw it, I mean, above 3 cents, I think it's in the bag, man. Very soon, like by the end of this year, if not potentially higher. You saw what the last one did on the extensions, man. You could be at new all-time highs. I don't know if by the end of the year it would happen, but in the beginning of next year for sure. I mean, probably. Nothing's for sure. Daily RSI looks strong. Definitely looks strong. 4-hour RSI strong, very strong. Yeah, man. You're getting ready. You're getting ready, and it makes sense. There are a lot of cryptos that are brewing right now. They're concocting their next move, and it looks good. That's for sure. So look at this, man. He came down. It's like a double bottom, man. This is like something you'd see in like a long-term kind of thing. This kind of play, and then just look at the bullish effect afterwards. Beautiful, very, very beautiful. Yeah, constructive, very constructive Verasity. So I don't know how high this thing's going to go. I'm going to stop geeking on it so much, and let's just give it a kind of overall bullish trajectory here for what it could do by the end of this cycle. By the end of the cycle, what's this coin worth too, by the way? Let's see. Vera, right? It's VRA. Number 362, you have a $64 million market cap. Fully diluted, you have a $697 million market cap. I don't like that kind of stuff normally, but there are plenty of coins that I do like that also have a similar circumstance as this. Just because they're not all diluted doesn't mean it's destined to fail or anything like that. But that just means there's going to be more coins released eventually, that will stifle price growth, right? You might see an all-time high that you just never achieve again, but this could be the cycle where you set that high. I don't know what the release date is for this, the tokenomics for like all these coins. It doesn't say it on here. Maybe it does. I'm not going to look into that. I just want to do the price. But looking at the current market cap of, let's call it 65 million, assuming coins get released too, right? 65 million. If it was to do a 100x, that would be 6.5 billion. Okay, so a 100x in this thing would take you all the way up to about here, just below your 1618. Your 1618 from the current price would give you like 140x. I definitely think that's possible with something of this caliber and market cap, and just kind of how bullish the price action itself looks. I think that it's possible. You know, to the reverse effect, depending on how many coins get released, that might stifle it too. You know, I would say the market cap itself has a lot more potential for growth than the actual price does. But that's just because, again, a lot of these coins are not diluted in the market. I don't know if they're going to burn them. I don't know when they're being released, how they're being released. If this is a proof of work, if it's a proof of stake, if it's a I don't know, like if they're just locked up. You know, I don't know what the story is behind these coins. So something like that, if I was to invest, I would want to look into that a little bit more and kind of know what these uncirculating coins are doing, what they're for. It's probably for the DAO. It's probably for their DAO. For those of you that don't know what a DAO is, it's a decentralized autonomous organization. It's basically like you contribute to the ecosystem of the blockchain that it has, and you get rewards in VRA coins. That's and the DAO is the ether, the digital space where all those coins are held, more or less, right? And it should be safe. They should be. The only way that you can extract those coins is through work with the ecosystem itself, or participation, stuff like that, you know. But there's various ways that people have allowed their coins to be released from their DAOs. But I would assume it's probably through proof of work, proof of stake, contributing to some degree with this thing. Anyways, you know, there was one coin, I forget, I think it was called Honeypot. I forget, but it's like if you proved that you stopped a hacker or found a hacker, you got rewards for like catching hackers. That was a thing back in like 2018 or 2019, I forget. But anyways, I'm getting off track here. It's totally possible for this thing to see an 87-cent price by the end of this cycle. It is totally possible. And that would give it, you know, something around, probably around a $10 billion market cap, something like that. Assuming not too many coins get released in that time, right, or added to the supply. Overall, this thing could see a much higher market cap than $10 billion in time. But I just don't, you know, I don't know too much about the tokenomics to make that degree. Again, you know, I think this market cap has a lot of potential for growth, but with this many coins locked up, the price, that kind of leaves me a little bit weary, you know. But it does look good. Things definitely do look good. I would assume you see new all-time highs, and at a minimum, that would imply that you see a 24-cent price. Okay, at a maximum 87. You could go higher than that, but let's keep it like on ground level here, right? That would be my, you know, and again, I think this would not be a good comparison. This top to this bottom, how you went all the way up to the 2886, this was an accumulation zone, a lot smaller, a lot more compressed. Of course, you're going to see deeper extensions there. I would not, you went above your 2886 here for your top, right? I don't think the same circumstances are to be considered here. I don't think that you're going to see your 2886, right? You've done it before, but this is a bear market where this was like at the within the very beginnings of the bull market, right? It didn't have a bear market, so it was like more of a consolidation phase. You want to look at your 2886 off of that. It might be more fair to compare it to like here, and that would take you up to like 28 cents, which, hey, surprise, surprise, lines up very well with the 1272 right there at about 24 cents. So anyways, right now I think things are brewing. To kind of surmise it all, I think things are brewing for the upside. If it goes down, it's not going to be by much. It looks very strong. I think you're getting ready to break out of this range that you've been in really since June of last year. And when you do, if it's to do what it's done before, I mean, you've got potentially more interest now, you know, and things are in the right conditions for sure this time of year. So you might see something like this, man. Very outstanding growth in a very short amount of time. What was this? From low to high. It was 16,564%. That's insane, man. From low to high, I mean, to do that same move, yeah. And that was in about 7 weeks, right? Something like that. So, nuts. Very nuts. 7 weeks we've got, no, it was probably more like 9 weeks. So, we've got about 9 weeks left in the year, but I think just a little bit less than that. I don't know. anyways, that's all I got for you guys. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. Looks good. Looks very, very good, Verasity. Good job. Congratulations, Verasity holders. You know, if you've been holding, you're definitely at higher levels than you've been in the past like couple months or like really throughout this whole year. I think it's only going to get better from here, guys. I really do. I'm not holding this one personally, though I kind of wish I was, but it's not on any exchanges that I can trade. I've been trying to get into my KuCoin account, man, and it's hard. I don't know why, man. I need to get a hold of customer service or something like that. But anyways, take care. That's my own problems, not yours. Bye-bye.